Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Welcome
hello.
to the Mom's View. We've got Katilette, Angel, Kayli, and me. How have you guys been?
Excellent.
Amazing.
What have you been up to? Kayli, how are Braylee and Gage adjusting to being like older siblings now?
Really, really great, actually. I was worried about, sharing my time.
Yeah.
Has been the biggest thing because I'm so obsessed with the baby.
Yeah.
But they're just as obsessed with him. So really, it's so funny. We'll just crowd around him like, oh, you're so cute. And they love it. Gage is such a good big brother and tries to help. And he's really, really gentle and soft. And he likes to hold them for like 5 minutes tops. Maybe not even that long. And then he's like, okay, Mom, do you want to take the baby? But it's so funny because I took this picture that I adore of Gage holding the baby when he was like around a month old, and he's looking down at it on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I love the picture, and I had him holding Winston the other day, and he's just gotten so chubby that he just looks like he's smashing Gage, and Gage is trying to look down at him. It's so funny because he's so big.
So cute.
And Braylee is just a little mama.
Yeah.
She loves it. It took me a while to feel comfortable with her helping out because he just seems so delicate. Now that he's a little chubby and, a little more durable.
Sturdy. Yeah.
He's sturdy. He's very sturdy. She's really good to help. She loves changing his diaper. They really love helping. I'm
That's
so grateful.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah,
exciting.
that's sweet.
I remember when we did A Tale of Two Bumps with the dad special, and Casey was like, with this baby, I can't wait to just like savor every second of it. And he mentioned like with the other two, he's like, I can't wait till they can like play with me outside. He's like, but with this one, I really just want to like enjoy every single second. And that really resonated with me. And I was like, I just want to stare, and like I don't want him to get any bigger. I mean, of course I do. I want him to grow. I don't want him to be like have some weird like,
Disease where he just stays a baby.
You want to see them grow in the different stages, but you want to savor every second. And I really feel like Casey has with this baby. He really, really has. He takes a lot of time, and he holds him more, even though he's a little uncomfortable. But yeah.
So both of y'all have changed because Casey had said that you are a lot more protective of this baby than you were with the other two.
Yeah.
He's like, she does not play when it comes to this child.
Right.
She's
I know.
like, yes.
Some people get like postpartum depression.
Yeah.
I feel like I get postpartum anxiety.
Right.
Oh,
I get
okay.
a lot of anxiety about like something happening to my baby. Like I didn't go to VidCon because I couldn't. Like I can't chance it. If something happened, and really he probably would have been okay. But I just get nervous, and I took him.
Peace of mind.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I took him on an airplane when he was just little. I took him to my brother's graduation, and the whole time I was just like, what am I doing? I'm the worst mom. What am I doing? But yeah, so I feel a little more relaxed now.
I know. I'm like, is he breathing? Is he breathing?
I
Okay.
know.
Oh God, thank God. Because we just moved Idris into his little like pack and play. So he's like we had him in our bed in like a little co-sleeper, and he was growing out of that, and because he's 2 feet tall, and now he's in a crib, and I would just like wake up and be like, just making sure. I mean, he wasn't even waking up. I was waking up to check and make sure, but.
Yeah.
I guess that's all part of being a mom.
It is.
How's Avia, the success of her video?
You know,
So
we never
exciting.
thought it would be that successful.
Yeah.
It really was successful. I was like, okay, so this all happened when we were getting ready to move. It was the day that we were supposed to be out of our place here. And so Shay had scheduled this shoot because I said, okay, if you want to make a video to this, you better schedule it and do it because I'm not doing anything. And he did. He scheduled it. It was on the day, which was kind of frustrating. But I literally showed up for 10 minutes to do a dancing part, and then I was gone, and I didn't have to do anything. He bought all the pink stuff, which was so cute.
Yeah,
that was
it's
all
adorable.
Shay.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll buy this and this. And it was just cool. Like, he just really, really loved the song, so he's like, we have to do a video to this. And I'm so glad he did because, I mean, look at it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Avia's had the opportunity to do some interviews for some news channels and
We
stuff.
were so proud watching her.
She's been so happy. She's just like, wow.
Yeah. She's a little pro too. She did such a good job in her
She is
interviews.
Such a pro.
We were
She
like,
is.
Yeah.
She just loves it.
We have a wedding in Chicago in September, and it'll be the first time that Michael and I will both be away from our baby, minus like we ran to the grocery store together the other day when we were with my mom in Florida, and we looked at each other in the grocery store, and we were like, oh my God, like this is the first time we haven't been with our baby. And then we were at the grocery store for maybe 20 minutes, and we kept like checking around down to like, I felt like we both were confused. We didn't know, we thought the stroller was, or we thought the cart was a stroller, and we were just like, this is weird, and we missed him, and we immediately went home. But with the wedding, of course, you know, I don't think babies are invited, and either way, we wouldn't want to bring him. You know, I don't think we'd be able to have fun, but I'm super nervous. It's in September, and it's with his parents, and I don't know, I can just boss my own parents around so much more easily and call them obsessively and like tell them what to do. I can't exactly do that with his parents. You
Just
know?
break them in.
Yeah, I
was about to say, break them in.
I know, I was
Yes,
like,
we'll get there.
so this is how it's gonna go down.
I have an itinerary.
10 bottles of milk. So yeah.
It's an interesting thing. Like, you'll go and you'll realize that he was fine without you, and a part of you will be like, oh, good. And then a part of you will be like, he didn't need me.
I know. Exactly. I don't know what I'm gonna like be feeling most. Like, oh, I'm so happy that I can like go have a date with my husband, which I'm so excited about. You know, just like just to rebond and connect with Michael and get super dressed up and you know, wear like a dress that is not maternity. Yeah, and like see a bunch of his friends and stuff. But yeah, there's gonna be like a little sadness too. Just all those little first things, like just moving him into the pack and play and out of our bed, and like he's in size 2 diapers now, and I'm like, you're getting really big. You're 14 pounds. You're 2 feet tall. Like, what's next?
Kindergarten.
I know.
He's going to college tomorrow.
Somebody was like, oh, next thing you know, they'll be in college. I was like, don't you say that to
You know
me.
what? You want to slap those people.
Yeah.
You just want to be like, why don't you shut up? Why don't you do that, okay? Just because that's what's happening in your life.
I know.
Calm down.
She had like a 5-year-old and like a 7-year-old, and she's like, watch out. And I was like, you.
Yeah, tears you up. Tears you up. I love it.
Anyway, so our topic of the day is this interview that's been going around with Cameron Diaz in Esquire magazine, and I actually have a quote that I'm gonna read you guys. It's about having a life without babies. It says, it's so much more work to have children, to have lives besides your own that you are responsible for. I didn't take that on. That did make things easier for me. A baby, that's all day, every day for 18 years. Not having a baby might really make things easier, but that doesn't make it an easy decision. I like protecting people, but I was never drawn to being a mother. I have it much easier than any of them. That's just what it is. Doesn't mean life isn't sometimes hard. I'm just what I am. So it's interesting now, obviously, that we all have babies. Look at that. The host of the Moms You has a baby. What happened? Do you guys have friends that don't have kids or that have decided, that have like made the conscious decision to like not have kids?
Yes.
And how are their lives?
Oh, they get to do a lot more stuff
Right.
than I do. I not to clown or not to like throw shade at anybody, but they get to be selfish.
Right.
Yes, and like, cause that was the first thing me and my husband realized when we got pregnant with Marcus, was that, oh, our selfishness, we have to kind of put it into the back. Like, we can't just be like, let's go here, let's go there. Right. We have someone else's needs to put before ours. So when you want that life, that's fine. I mean, I think it's better if you're going to be like selfish, and I don't mean to say such a negative term, but if you want to put your priorities to that extent, I think it's best not to have kids than to be that person and have kids and your child is like, where is my parent?
Right. Yeah. I totally get what you're saying about the selfish thing. I think that's why Michael and I like wanted to be married for a few years before, because we wanted to be selfish. I know there's not like a better word for it, but that's just what it is. We wanted that like time where we didn't have to think about anybody or anything, and we could just kind of go and do and be free. But I've always wanted kids. So and now that I have one, I just can't imagine, and I want another one, and another one, and another one.
That's hard, because I hate using that term too, selfish, because everybody has their own, goals in life and their own priorities, and that's fine. Like, I don't feel like I'm anybody that can tell you, oh, you should do this because it'll make your life better, because who knows, maybe it will make your life better. Maybe you're not somebody that would really enjoy having kids, and that's totally fine. I mean, for me, I always wanted to have kids. Yeah. And I also know, know, like, yes.
I can't believe it.
I'm going to have 10 more. Like for my sister, who she really wants children, but she is not able to. So it brings a different perspective to me, like, oh, how would that be? Like, I don't even know what that would be like. She does have a daughter that she's adopted, but she so far hasn't been able to have her own. And so it's interesting to me when I do hear about people that just have made that decision that they just don't want kids at all, because in my mind, I just feel like, oh, but you're gonna miss so much. Like, it brings me so much joy, but who am I to say what will bring somebody else joy?
Right.
You know?
Right.
So
Exactly.
I feel like I can't judge her is what I'm trying to say. It's like, you know what? Just do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But for me, it's so rewarding. And being, you know, I guess unselfish, like putting a child's needs first is really hard. And it's really challenging. And sometimes you do have those breakdowns where it's like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I can't do anything for myself. But I feel like there will come a day where I will look back and be like, you know what, it was every second is worth it. Like I don't care about myself anymore.
There's something that's more rewarding than being a parent.
And then I worry about like when my kids are out of the house and then it's like, now what do I do?
Let me say this first. I would never trade having my son for anything.
Right.
But I can definitely reimagine my life if that would not have happened.
Yeah.
And like the different, or if I would have never been married, like the different way my life would have taken a trajectory, you know, the different paths that it could have gone. And some of them seem absolutely fabulous. I'm just going to be honest. But none of them, for me, I don't know if they would have brought me as much happiness as the life that I have now.
Right.
But I can see why those people who choose not to decide to do it and have fun. And while I think there might be certain things that they're missing by not having children, there are probably pieces of things that I'm missing because I have children.
Right.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
a child.
There's a couple things I was thinking of while you guys were talking. One, I wonder if it's like just like in LA, it's totally normal to like have babies way, way, way later in life. Like you're, you know, late 30s. I have friends in their late 30s that are like, yeah, I definitely still want to have a kid, and they're like not super worried about it. You know, they're thinking about it, but they're not like so worried that like it's never going to happen for them. And I'm wondering if that's just like, you know, a big city thing. Like, do you guys know people from where you grew up that like, you know, have decided I definitely don't want kids,
I can't think of any of my
or like
friends.
I'm waiting for a long time to have kids? Yeah.
I mean, I have friends who waited a little longer than I did. You know, getting pregnant at 19, crazies. But I also watched them, you know, go through a phase of their life where they like got to go and have fun, and then they had kids, and they're so obsessed with their kids.
Yeah.
You know, that you do see that joy that kids bring into your life, and it's fun to see that.
Yeah, totally.
Now, I have only my friends out here had kids late.
Right.
None of my friends back in Kentucky. And that still blows my mind. I think I can understand more not having kids than waiting until you're like 40 and you've got to fight against nature and God and everything else to make this baby happen. And then you got to fight against your own energy to raise the child. That one is a little bit harder for me to understand. And I get the part of you want to live your life first and get all that stuff out. But I'm like, I need to have this child, even though I wasn't planning on him, while my body is working with me to have this child.
Not against
instead.
you.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that part always confuses me when, and not judging, it just, I don't really comprehend why someone would choose to have a child when they be putting themselves at so much more risk and the child at more risk just to be able to hit some other career goals. Like,
like if they're in their early 30s or something, they're like, I'm going to wait till I'm 40 because there's modern medicine and things like that.
I'm like, you are not Hallie, girl.
Right. Because some women, like, they just haven't found anybody.
No, that's something different.
Yeah, and that's a totally different subject, too. And, you know, I know some women, too, that are like, I really want to have a baby. I'm not with a man. What do I do now? And, you know, I mean, the options are like artificial insemination and like, you know, raising a baby completely alone. And I used to think like, oh yeah, that's like totally great. Like you should definitely be able to have a baby. But now just going through everything with Michael, I can't imagine being alone and like making that conscious decision to go through it alone. Because some people, like, things happen and you just end up being alone as a single mom and you never like thought that you would be. But then there's other women that are like, no, I'm gonna do this alone. And then I wonder, like, is that fair to the baby? You know, like knowing that I mean, but you know, of course I don't care who has babies and who doesn't, as long as they, you know, take care of them.
Well, there are people with couples that shouldn't have kids. Let me tell you that right now, where they'd be better off with just one sane parent than the two crazies they have.
True. Yeah.
So I get being that I was raised by one woman and not a father figure.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure it would have been easier if there was a sane, stable male
Right.
figure around all the time. But I think I would prefer that than to have to be in a family that was abusive with two parents. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, totally.
Or just
Yeah.
unhappy and unhappy.
Yeah.
Home.
Right. So
Yeah.
having one really happy person to be there, to be
Yeah.
like, I'm happy about your existence, I feel like might be
Yeah.
a better
I
chance.
feel like if you have enough love to want to have a child without having that other support partner, I feel like that's.
Just,
Every kid, what do they want is love. Like, that's the most
I know.
important thing.
Right.
And if
Yeah.
you have that, if you can give a child that, then I would say more power to you.
totally. It would be so hard to do it alone, but props to the women who can. I think about single moms all the time now. When Michael helps me, I'm like, wow, hats off to you guys.
Yes.
Woo. Okay, so what would you guys say if your kids didn't want to have kids? Kaylee's like, no, absolutely no.
I would really encourage them to.
Yeah.
I mean, I would understand where they're coming from, of
Yeah.
course, and respect their choices.
And then make
But I
them
would
have
just be
kids.
so sad. I'd be like, I want to be a grandma.
Yeah.
Because I do. I look at Winston now and I'm like, at least I have 18 years with this baby.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, and then after 18 years, I better have some grandkids
Right.
because I just love having kids with me. We were even talking, we were with our boys by ourselves, and it's so weird to not have like little ones like lingering
Right.
around. It just is so uncomfortable to not have your kids around you when you're so used to it that I can't even imagine. And I want grandkids, and I want my kids to feel the same joy that they've given to me. So, yeah, I would really encourage them.
That's like telling Kaylee that there's going to be no Christmas. Or
I know.
I know, that's exactly what it sounded like. You know, with
they will.
me having such a cute little boy, I'm really just praying he does not make any kids before I'm ready for him to make kids. Like, so if he said, I don't want any kids, I'd be like, great.
Yeah.
So we're not doing it, or we're wrapping it up. What's happening? Like, my greatest fear is that grandkids start popping up
Right.
in different places.
I think you have at least 10
I mean, yeah, I got some time before that happens. So, like, if he said he didn't want any, I'd be like, great. So, you're going to be taking necessary precautions for that not to happen.
Right.
I don't even think about being a grandmother. Like, that doesn't even.
It's not time
What?
for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's like, are you kidding?
think
You
about
guys
it
don't think
all
about
the
making
time.
grandma?
Son is 5, 6.
I mean, but if the day came when he's older, and really successful, and he married the woman I chose, and they
Did you guys hear that? Marry the woman I chose. Yeah.
and they decided to have a baby and give it to me, I would be elated.
And give it to me.
Yes. Oh, that would happen. I would be elated. But if he didn't want to, then it would just take some stress off of me. I'd be like, okay, he's not just trying to spread a seed around. Because
Right.
he's cute. He would make some
He's
beautiful
so
babies.
He's
I
so
mean, goodness gracious. She was telling me before we shot about Avia
Yes.
going back and forth.
She always had told me, she's like, I do not want babies. Because
Oh,
she's like, that would hurt
interesting.
so bad. Because I told her how they come.
Yeah.
And she's like, She does not want that. She used to tell me, Mom, I am not getting married. I'm never going to get married. I'm like, why? She goes, because I don't want to have kids. And if you get married, you have to have kids. And of course, I'm like, well, not necessarily. But but it's kind of, when she initially told me that, it kind of made me sad. And I thought, why am I so sad? I thought, because I do want her to have kids.
Yeah.
I want grandkids, and I do want her to experience the joy of being a mom. But at the same time, it's all about where they're at in their lives. You know, like, I have a sister that doesn't really want to have kids, at least right now, and I feel like that's good for her. Like, you know,
Right.
you just gotta fill your life out, and if you're ready for that, then go for it. And sometimes it happens when you're not ready for it, and you just gotta go for it. But I think that I probably would be bummed out if my kids didn't want to have kids, but at the same time, that is their decision.
Right. Yeah.
But I probably would be like, grandkids? Yeah, maybe?
I'll be the annoying one that's like, when are you guys gonna have kids? Are you gonna have kids yet? Do you want to have kids? If you have babies, I'll watch them all the time. You guys can live with me.
Those are the type of
crazy.
the mother-in-laws you want, though. The ones that are like, I will take your child.
Yeah.
Go, have fun.
Yeah. Do you guys feel like, did you always feel pressure to like have babies from your parents or anything? Angel, you're giving me a look.
And pressure to have more I mean, they just are like vultures on my uterus. Like, what's going on in there?
This is our
I
business.
feel like I kind of am too. I'm like, am I rubbing? When I was pregnant, I'm gonna rub off on Angel.
Can you have another baby though? Because that would be so fun.
be really awesome.
And you do make it. You made a real good one.
I
bet
did,
you'd make
and who
another
can
really good
top that cutie pie? You know.
It's very cute.
But yeah, that type of pressure of, come on,
Yeah.
don't you
So
want
even
another?
when you have one, you still get pressure to have
Oh,
another one,
yeah.
right? The pressure just never ends, does it?
And it's so weird. It's just like, was one not enough for you? Like,
Yeah.
why? What do you need? Don't you have other ones from my siblings? It doesn't matter. They're just,
Right.
I think, once they start and it seems like everyone is taking care of their own and they can be just regular grandparents, they're like, oh yeah, well you can have more because we
Right.
could just be grandparents
Right.
and you be the parents.
Right.
So yeah, the pressure is there.
You know, it's kind of funny. My parents were opposite.
Right.
Because I got married when I was 19, so they were like, you don't need to have any babies yet. But also, my dad, how old was he? He was 38 when I got married. And he was like, don't make me a grandpa before I'm 40. And so then I got pregnant right after I got married, 4 months after I got married.
wow.
And he was 39 when I had Braylee.
Oh,
And
wow.
I was like, I almost made it.
That's
But they were like, don't have kids.
Yeah.
I think when I told them, they were just like, shoot. And they helped me a lot.
Yeah. How are you like balancing being a new mom and still getting all your work done and moving? I mean, that's so many things on your plate.
I mean, I just feel like I watch her. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's Katilette doing? I'll do that.
I'll figure it out.
No, I feel like a mess right now.
Yeah.
I really do.
You don't look like a mess.
I feel
You
like
look fabulous.
I feel like you have to just go with the flow, and I've
do.
learned that a lot from Katilette.
Yeah, I'm
Colette's
learning that
always
from you
going with
too.
the flow, and you just have to be relaxed about things.
Yeah, Katilette, I'm always trying to channel your zenness, your calm aura.
Yes.
You really have a way with you.
I really do.
I hide it really well.
Because when you said you had anxiety with every baby, I'm like, when? Like, what drugs are you on, honey?
I hide things really well.
Good.
No, I'm not normally one that like expresses when I'm having anxiety either. I just kind of like have to internalize it and be like, okay, I got this. This is okay.
and let it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Girl.
yeah.
Take it
Having
and let
kids
it
is
out.
definitely not an easy thing. And I did want to say, in like talking more about what's her name again? Carmen?
Cameron.
Cameron Diaz.
Cameron. I'm like Carmen. Why am I saying Carmen?
Electra.
Carmen San Diego. Wait, what? Cameron Diaz is. I feel like what makes your life rich is the relationships that you forge, and you know how you act with other people, and you can have really meaningful relationships and influence a lot of people without having kids. So I just want to say that, like, I don't
Yes.
feel like you have to have kids to have a rich life.
Totally.
Right.
And you know, it's all about the relationships that you forge with people and how you treat people. So I mean, there are so many people in the world that never had kids for whatever reason and have had much influence and have been great people. So
Right.
that's not
Yeah.
really.
The more
What
you
she
know.
said.
The more
Yes.
you know.
What
was
she
just
said.
like
Yeah.
words of wisdom. I felt like everything I said before that was wah, 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 wah. Wisdom.
Exactly. Well, I second what Katilette said. What
Yeah.
she said, I liked, and yeah,
I was gonna
that was
say
good.
it, but-
I was going to say that too.
She
but then
said it
she
first.
Took the words out of my mouth. Yeah. Okay, well, you guys, that is it for our show. Did you see our Baby Swag music video?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was so much fun. Let us know if you want to see more.
Yeah,
Because we want to do
I've
more.
got so many more rhymes. I'm ready.
So much baby swag right now.
One of the funnest days ever. It was
such a fun day.
so fun. Angel, just we learned to drop it like it's hot with
Yeah.
Angel. That was so much fun.
I'm here to bring my skills to the mom's view. Yes.
So as always, you guys can keep the convo going online. Use the hashtag TMV Talk, and we would love to hear from you. So until next time, have a fabulous day. Bye.
Bye.